Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
So raise your hand if you are a theater person. Okay, director. Like you've directed theater, directed plays, directed a choir. Like it doesn't matter, you've directed something. Okay. So you'll already be familiar with this idea of retweaking a script, right? Like that sometimes directors do that. You get the play, you get the lyrics, you get the line, whatever it is, and sometimes you tweak it, you change it. We just heard, like, the rhythm is this, but every time we play it, we modify it, we improv, and so, re-scripting things. So bear that in mind, because we're going to get to that momentarily. Question, because I always like to start with one. Last week's title, this week's title have what in common? What person do they have in common?
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare. Today we continue our Shakespearean. All the world is a stage, and
Players on it.
oh, and we are, and there are various translations. We are merely players. We are simply players. We are but players on this grand stage of life. How often do we sit back and really take in what it means metaphysically to be an actor on the stage of life? Boop, pause for one brief commercial announcement. Actor. The root word being act, which is a verb meaning to move, to act, to do something. See, because when we watch film and television, any film and TV buffs? Okay, see, we don't watch TV and feel what the actors feel. We feel what we feel based upon what they do. Right? Like, that's the thing. Because someone can get on, whatever the movie is, and, oh, for shame, for the Titanic sinketh. And we feel whatever it is that we feel based upon, because one, we know that Tom Cruise ain't going down on no boat. We know this. So we know it's not real, but based upon how believable their actions are, convinces us to feel whatever it is that we feel. Pause. When we are engaged in our own lives, are we mindful of the actions we are engaged in? Because our actions tell the world what we're thinking and what we're feeling. Because even though I know Liz is a great mind reader, she probably didn't, I wasn't supposed to tell her that, was I? But too late. We don't read each other's minds. We read each other's actions. That's why people say things like, first impressions are the thing, right? Because it tells us something. If Gerhard walked up to me and reached out his hand, and I did this, didn't say anything, what am I saying? No. I don't know you. I don't want to shake your hand. I would never do that. But body language communicates because it's an action. The activities we engage in, the habits, because they are actions, they are behaviors. Are we mindful enough to really get into what am I telling the world? Long time ago, during my Christianity era growing up, there was this phrase that has stuck with me ever since. You may be the only Bible that some people get to read.
Oh.
You may be the only Bible. You may be the only holy book that someone gets to read. What is the gospel that you are living in how you are showing up? What is your Psalms? What is your book of? Read to. Liz. Today we are going to learn how to read the Bible. Sorry for this. Like, what is your book? What is it communicating to the world? Oftentimes, we think we're communicating one thing, and we're not. That's one reason why we humans don't communicate very well. A long time ago, somebody wrote this book called Men Are From Jupiter and Women Are From, something like, you know what I'm talking about. Anyhow, and the idea was when the girlfriend, the wife, the partner, or whatever comes home, or, son sums up and says, wow, the garbage is getting really full. To which the gentleman would often say, yep. Or, honey, how was your day? Fine. And mine was really good too. Like, we don't communicate well because we are so indoctrinated and trained into this thing that I often refer to as metaphysical masturbation. We are so focused on whatever story we are telling in our heads. The story of, oh, woe is me. The story of, I ain't got 2 pennies to rub together. The story of, it is hot outside. The story of whatever. And we get so focused on this that we lose sight of how much joy there is in the world. We lose sight of all of, pause for another brief commercial announcement. Remember I said this idea of, anyhow, you'll follow. What was the word for today?
Interdependence.
Interdependence. If we were to ask each of us, what does that word mean? We would get all kinds of ideas. I want us to think for a moment and tweak for a moment, moving from inter to intra, and intra to meta. Meta-dependence gets us to the place that Rich talked about, where as we give, we receive automatically. We don't give in order to receive, but we get what we give. Has anybody ever planted apple seeds and grew an orange tree? No. But if you plant kindness, what grows? If you plant love, you plant generosity, you plant abundance, whatever you plant, that's what's going to come back to you. Like, that's common sense. Jackson didn't sit down to, I'm not going to touch it. That. And we're like, oh, that's such a beautiful harp. Because it's not a harp. You're going to hear what it is, not some made-up thing. So, interdependence and metadependence doesn't say, I depend on you. We depend on each other. It says, we are each other. Out in the lobby, there you got the pride flags and stuff, so I was invited by my glitter friend, sorry, Skittles, to, create inside jokes, anyhow. Y'all know me well enough about now to do a pride flag. So I put up different things together and stuff specifically to represent, and at the bottom I put the word Ubuntu. Do we know what this word means? Ubuntu. I am because we are. I am because we are. Metadependence, interdependence says, I am because we are. I take care of you because I am you. And so this happened, and God says, where is your brother? Am I my brother's keeper? Yeah, remember that story?
Yeah.
So I've remixed it to say, I am not my brother's keeper, I am not my sister's keeper. I am not my gender non-conforming, gender fluid, gender rich siblings' keeper. I am them, and they are me. As both Emma Lazarus said, and Fannie Lou Hamer has said, and others have said in their own way, until all are free, none are. That's metadependence. That's number one. Number two, Do you remember the word that initially Jen said was like, but then eventually she got it, now we're good. Remember, what was that word?
Learning.
Learning. Learning for the sake of learning means absolutely diddly squat. But we learn, we study, we integrate what we have studied, we apply it. Read it, study it, make it a part of you, and then live it. Last week, what was one key, for those of you who are willing to share out loud, because I don't want to make Liz read minds right now. What was one key takeaway for those who were here that you got from last week's message? Don't all rush at one time. I know I'm putting you on the spot. I know.
That you are like buttered bacon. I know that's not what you were going for.
That's fine. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for that. Anything else?
Mondays are wonderful.
Being?
Mondays are wonderful.
Mondays are wonderful. And being. Okay. So when we talk about this idea, and we say, once again, there's linguistic convenience, so apart from linguistic convenience, because it's one thing to say, God is the core of our being, right? But there's another side to that coin where some of us hear God with, and there's separation. We know on one hand God is all there is, but then when we say God with or God within, there's this space where I'm going to go out into the atrium with Jen. Well, there's a possibility that Jen says, I'll meet you out there, and then I'm going alone. I'm going to meet Jim out in the parking lot, and Jim says, hold on, I need to talk to Rich about something. And I'm going to the parking lot alone. So there are times when, because of the language in the script that we are reading and telling ourselves as the actors of our divinity, sometimes we anthropomorphize God. Sometimes we still do the whole judgment thing about even new thought. And oftentimes we separate and segregate the idea of being divine right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. Pause and breathe. Because I know that's a thing, right? Because we go through this thing called life and we forget. But wait a minute. I pause for a second, because I didn't turn and look behind me, and I don't want to put these folks on the spot, but I heard behind me while we were in, pre-everything starting, someone said to someone else, you look abundant today, and the other person said, and the person here said, on the inside or internally, and the person here said, yeah. And that's fine, but keeping in mind what's on the inside becomes the outside. So it starts our thoughts. The book that I wrote about the mental equivalence talks about 4 pillars. Our thoughts, all the things that we believe, all the ideas, the imagination, which, by the way, Neville Goddard said imagination is a synonym for God. So when you engage in your imagination, you are literally, according to Neville Goddard, invoking and evoking the very power of creation itself. Oh, who would have thunk? Because Einstein supposedly daydreamed or dreamed flying a 10 and the E equals MC squared. Wait a minute, how'd the microwave come into being? Someone imagined I'm gonna make a box and you'll push buttons and poof, popcorn. Like all the things that we have started from somebody imagining it in their wherever. Like who, you've heard me say this before, I don't know who. I'm gonna blame it on the Orville brothers, not the popcorn ones, the other ones. You know what I'm talking about, Orville and Wilbur. Yeah. Come on now. Long metal tube, long metal wings, and it's going to fly. Now, I'd have got you if you'd have made it out of paper. I don't know if you can create a 747 out of paper that big, but I'd have given you if it was paper. It's a long metal tube with long metal wings, and it moves you from one city or one continent to a... Who sat down one day and chose to imagine, I'm going to make a big metal tube that weighs I don't know how many tons, and it's going to defy gravity long enough to get us from here to Tokyo. I don't even know what Tokyo is or where it is, but it's going to get us there. And they imagined it. Every musical instrument, somebody was somewhere like, Who invented this?
I have no idea.
See, but somebody somewhere was, I don't know, reading a newspaper somewhere. Well, back then it's probably a stone tablet, and they're, chilling, and they're like, wait a minute. If I take this and there you go. Now put it somewhere so Jackson can get it in 2,000 years. Everything you're wearing, somebody imagined it. So once again, imagination, the very power of God. Pillar number 1, everything you think, everything you believe. Pillar number 2, every way that you communicate. Whether it's by word, by sign language, by text, by email, all of the ways in which you convey an idea, a thought, or something to another human being or to yourself. Because we would never call someone else directly, "You're ugly." I wanted to make sure I looked at my sister on that because I didn't want y'all to take it personally. Tracy already knows I'm going to be used as the show and tell person. But how often do we look in the mirror and say some version of an insult to ourselves? We gained an extra pound. We got an extra gray hair growing out of our nose that shouldn't even happen. That's against nature, but it happened. I'm going to leave that alone. Because I'm just saying, here minus, here plus. The math ain't mathing. So, we criticize ourselves, though. I'm not smart enough for that. I'm not talented enough for that. I'm not coordinated enough for that. I'm just not enough. Because of how I was raised, because of something, story time. And because of that story, which is why my sister will not watch certain kinds of movies past certain television shows past a certain time of night, because she doesn't want those images in her mind when she goes to bed. So she'll watch Law and Order up until 8 p.m. No more Law and Order after 8, or no more whatever after 8, because I don't want that in my head. I gotta go watch something funny. I gotta go like Manila Gorilla or something. I gotta watch some cartoons or something. Because the stories matter. What story are we communicating to one another? About our lives? About one another? About our world? About our government? Are we telling a story of doom and gloom for the government, which the Bible says, by the power of your tongue, curses or blessings? And in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, the Word was with God, and the Word became flesh. Your words have the power to create. Your words have the power that someone who is feeling so miserable on some day, and you say something kind, and you don't even know what they're going through because you don't know their story. But your kind word was the thing that changed their entire, not just their day, but the entire course of where they were headed. Because they were headed home to sit in the garage, to turn on the car with the doors closed. But your kind word reminded them you're loved and you're appreciated and you're valuable. And you changed the trajectory. What story are we telling? Number 3, our emotions and feelings. How emotionally intelligent are we to even know how to act? How to show up in this thing called the stage of life? Are we aware enough aware enough to be able to change it. In the same way that a director, when they see an actor doing whatever, that's not what I asked you. Come here, hit your mark, step back, do this, and then do a kick. That's what I asked you to do. What is this? That's not what I asked you to do. Like, are we aware enough to be able to identify what's being done, what's being felt, what's being expressed, to then recalculate it to get it to be what we actually want? For example, if I said, for you, what does it mean to be in joy? Do you know? For you. I don't want to care. Merriam-Webster, I don't care. I want to know what joy is for you. What is happiness for you? What is orgasmic bliss for you, so that on Monday morning, whether you're retired or not, Monday morning is a day to rejoice, because Tuesday morning is a day to rejoice. Wednesday morning or Wednesday afternoon after your nap is a time to rejoice. Are you in that space where you can actively do it? And then lastly, action. Are we living the other three pillars? Are we taking the action out in the world because it's who and what we are? Or are we letting the circumstances and the things change us? For example, raise your hand if you're human. I didn't look because I just want to get Area 57. Just saying. I want to be on the spot because the ACI might come for me. You can never use the letters in the right order because they will show up. But the ACI might show up and be like, oh, you know about Area 27. So you got to always change the numbers. No, but seriously, we're all human. But how many humans act inhumanely? And yet their inhumane actions, their inhumanity to one another, doesn't make them less human. Nothing we do will ever make us less divine, less God, less love, less joy, less. Nothing could ever, no story can make us less than. The only thing that can make us, quote unquote, less than is how we choose to embody the idea of less than. We get to choose. We are the directors and the producers and the casting agents of our own lives. We get to say, thank you for your audition. You will not be burying me. Next. Thanks for auditioning. You will not be the usher for today. Next. Thanks for auditioning. You will not be my neighbor today. Like whatever it is, we get to choose rather than choosing to keep letting come to me and give me your neck. We don't have to keep inviting them in. Even if they're our family, we get to choose. Breathe. So in this space of infinite awareness, where we acknowledge and recognize, as Ernest Holmes once said, the only God any of us would truly know or understand is the one that we embody. Eric Butterworth, God didn't create, isn't creating. God is creation itself, and what it is, you are. Pythagoras, know thyself, and in knowing thyself, you will know both the universe and God. To thine own self be true. So we breathe in this awareness, recognizing that whatever qualities or attributes we would give and say that God is not omnipresent. God is omnipresence itself. God is omnipotence itself. God is creation itself, creativity, and all of these. God is beauty itself, and what it is, each of us must be. So we breathe this recognition. And we go to that place in our consciousness, in our mental equivalence, that place that knows and knows that it knows, and if it doesn't know, it is willing to know. So we breathe. We breathe and we acknowledge that we are not an extra in our own lives. We are the infinite I am. Om Tat Sat. I am that which is all that there is. I am consciousness itself. From the top of my head to the soles of my feet. From the surface of my skin, through all of the muscle, the tissues, the fiber, the bones, on, to all of the molecules, electrons, protons, neutrons, on, to the quantum matter itself, to the empty space between all that it is, I am. And so in this moment, we bring to our mind's eye whatever word in this moment that we want to embody, I am. And then in your own mind, fill in the blank. I am beautiful. I am sacred. I am talented. I am holy. I am more than good enough. I am that which is the universe itself. I am love. I am light. I am laughter. I am the presence of God in, through, and as this body and this name, this height, this weight, this skin complexion, this age, this socioeconomic bracket, whatever that is. I am that. That which is. And so it is. And we breathe. Oh, one last note. It's time for all of us to accept our Oscar. I forgot I did an acronym for it. So the omnipotence, the omniscience, the omnipresence, that's the O. Omnipotence, omniscience, omnipresence, source, consciousness, active right now as you. I accept this. Breathe. And finish this statement. Wherever I am, and
all is well.
Wherever I am,
God is.
And
All is
then
well.
how could my soul not be welcome here? Wherever I am, God is. I am welcome there. The love, the joy, the peace, the power, the prosperity, all that it is must be welcome wherever I go. By our steps we make hallowed ground. By our words we express hallowed words, the gospel of truth. By our actions and the activity of how we show up, we create a world that truly does work for all, through all, in all, and as all. And that's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.